Hi and welcome back. Today we're gonna do two things. We're gonna open a box and we're gonna do a review. But we're not gonna review what's in the box more than the content. We're actually gonna review this Trek and Eat. If you guys remember, I did a Trek and Eat before and it was very salty. And I wanted to see if they all suffer from the same issue with salt, and got a couple of more. So that's for later. First we're gonna see what's in this box. And as you can see, it's from 24 Hour Meals. I reached out to them a while back and asked, hey, you remember me? We met last year, you sent me some stuff with me home and I tried it out. Has it been implemented yet in the new Swedish rations? And they were like, yeah, it's been in there for a while. So I asked if they could hook me up with a couple of the newer versions, and they did. I've had this box since Monday and haven't opened it yet, so I'm very curious what's in here. So with any further delay, let's get in here and see what the nice people at 24 Hour Meals sent me. They have a YouTube channel now, by the way, and I'm gonna link it in the description so you guys can check it out. The content is in Swedish mostly, so I don't know how the subtitles are yet, but anyways, go there and have a look. So let's see what's in here. We open up. We have two 24-hour menus. Menu number 1. Oh, and actually, let's see if we can get that in frame. We now have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and like kvällsmål, evening meal. So you have like a third dish, or like a fourth dish actually. So this is nice. Menu number 1: apple cinnamon porridge, chicken sweet and sour pasta, chili con carne, and meal bar lemon. Oh yeah, that's those meal bars I got last year. Those are actually quite nice. It's gonna be interesting to see what's in there more. And then we have menu number 5, which seems to be, let's see, we have that meal bar lemon there again, and the breakfast and the mains we remember since last. So that's gonna be nice to dig into as well. Then we have a lot of other stuff. Yeah, I noticed this was rattling when I picked it up, and I was like, I just wanted 2 rations. So this is... We have some sports drinks from Pure Energy. We have black currant and pineapple. We have 4 of those, so we're gonna need to have a closer look at as well. We have some energy bars, which you guys probably remember from last year's, and these are great. We also have some small pocket package of cashew nuts. I wonder if these are going to be implemented into the rations in the future. The sports drinks are nice because that's what one of the biggest issues I had with them before, and that was the lack of drinks. But this is what I'm actually very interested in. These are new FRHs, which I haven't tried out yet. So this is going to be very interesting to see how these are compared to the American ones I used and the ones I used in the other Swedish ration reviews I did. And I have 4 of them. Perfect. So I have 1 for each meal in the ration. And now the box is empty. This is so a big thanks from 2 24-hour meals for hooking me up, because I had a bit of a, well, the how would you say, the variation in the Swedish ration was a bit lacking when I ate them all over once in a while. So this is going to be interesting to dig into the newer ones and see if they break the pace. But today we're going to take a closer look at trekking needs. So while I fix what I need to be fixed to review this, you'll have to wait for a second. See you later. And I'm back. And we're gonna have a look today, as I said earlier, on the trekking eat. And we're gonna have a vegetarian noodles with vegetables. And I actually thought of, hey, they sent me a lot of extra stuff, so let's take a look of some of the extra stuff. So we're also gonna have some of these salted cashews. We're gonna have one of the energy bar and refresh our memory on that. So we're gonna have the apple one. And we're gonna try one of these sports drinks, the black currant one. No, currant. So let's just start preparing the vegetarian pasta, because that's gonna take a little while. Again, we have the description on how to prepare it on the backside. We have a fill line here, but I'm gonna go for the amount instead, and it calls for 490 milliliters. That's a lot, but we have our cup here, which we can use for measuring. So let's tear it open if it wants to. Struggle a bit. We have a nice Ziploc. We can open it up in the bottom. Smells, for being freeze-dried, it smells quite okay. So let's see, 490. This takes 300. So 300 there. Let's pour it in. And then we need almost 2 more. Something like that. And this time I'm gonna make sure I mix it properly, because the last I did, I failed a bit. So where's the spoon? Or should I use the fork? And remember, if you don't mix it properly and you find unreconstituted food in your freeze-dried, you should not eat it. You should only eat the reconstituted food, but that says itself. And there we go. Put you there. No, wait. Still some food left on the spoon. Gonna help that along. So it constitutes. There we go. And this is gonna sit for 8 minutes. So we're gonna put that to the side, and we're gonna mix the sports drink. Rich in BCAA and vitamin C, enriched with electrolytes, used during exercise or competition, and it's made in Sweden. This is gonna make it hard for me to be biased. This calls for half a liter of water. We have that here. And hopefully the powder will fit in here. And as always, it's a bit tricky to pour it out of a bigger pouch. I like drinks that comes in those small straws, like in some of the US MREs. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. It barely fits in there. And there's still some powder left. Okay, so I'm gonna mix this in a bit less than half a liter of water. This might be a bit strong. Give that a nice shake. It's quite interesting. All those drinks you get in most MREs, they always have this like cartoonish color. So today we're gonna test some purple. Well, it's better than the American grape one that is like blue. Really, really blue. We're gonna have this 24-hour meal apple energy bar, 55 grams. Can put that in here. And we're gonna have a look at some salted cashew nuts. Yeah, natural sea salt. I'm gonna put that in a coffee cup because we don't have any coffee today. See how we open this in a good way. And I just tear the top and pour it in. There we go. Some cashews, probably just gonna be like regular salted cashews. Salted cashew nuts. Nothing special or fancy about them, but they're good. We're gonna have a bite of this apple energy bar. See if we remember anything from last year. Sorry, took a bit of a big bite. This is actually quite good. Mostly because it doesn't taste synthetic. It really tastes apple. And it's as I remember it. I really like these energy bars. I wish I could like have a... If I had to... Actually, these are way better than the Ranger bar. I do like the Ranger bar. But I would prefer these. And that's not because they're Swedish in any way, but because these taste more... The Ranger bar tastes a bit synthetic sometimes. It's still delicious, but you can feel that it's not... This tastes more natural, that's what I'm getting at. And, well, it didn't mix as well as I hoped, so let's give it a bit more of a shake. Let's see how this black currant sports drink is. This is actually quite good. It's not too sweet, and it's not too bitter. I remember the grapefruit one from the Swedish MREs. It's like it has that real bitterness to it, and I'm not very fond of bitterness. And blackcurrant can be very bitter as well, but this was perfect mix. Let's see what it actually contains. Dextrose, fructose, BCAA. I can't translate this into English. Well, magnesium, I know what it is. Citrus acid, red beet extract, calcium, salt, aroma, and can contain traces of soy, milk, and egg. Okay. I need to do some more research. We have 3 more, 2 pineapple and 1 more of these to go through, so till next time I will have more information on this and be a bit more prepared. It's easy to read instructions in English out loud. Translate them live is, well, not as easy. The food needs to stay for a little more in the bag before it's done, so I'll be back when it's done. So, Now this has been sitting for 8 minutes or so, so it's time to take a look on how it turned out. By first look, it looks actually quite okay. Still very warm, but it looks a bit compact, but I think that can be helped with some mixing. And again, I see some non-reconstituted stuff here. Not that much. It's good. Still some in here. More or less everything. It smells great. I'm a big fan of pasta dishes as well, so looking forward to this. Hopefully this won't be as salty. I did look on the Trek and Eats homepage where you can see the content, and well, most of them contains a very high amount of salt. I got noticed from one of my subscribers that this was the case, so therefore I wanted to check some of them out. But here we go. Trek and Eats noodles. Yeah, pasta with vegetables. It says noodles, but it's not really noodles. So let's see. Let's try to get a bit of everything. This is actually quite good. It's not heavily creamy. It's just like the perfect amount. I don't get that overpowering taste of salt this time, which is really nice. We have some like peas, corn, and some carrots in here. And this one is way better than the beef stroganoff. Still, I think this one still contains a very high amount of salt. Let's see here. 3.3 grams for every 100 gram, and this was 150. It makes it like, what, 5 grams or something? My math isn't the best, so don't quote me on that. But it's not that. This tastes good. I could eat this, or I will eat all of this, and I would not be very... This I could buy again. The beef stroganoff I would probably never have again, but this is actually quite enjoyable. Even though it contains almost as much salt as the beef stroganoff did, if I remember correctly. This isn't all that bad. We're gonna have of course, it wouldn't be a Magnus video if we don't test it with some nuts now when we have it. So we're gonna put some cashews on here. The cashews gives it some more crunch, but doesn't enhance the flavor anymore. But then again, they are lightly salted. This, according to the ingredients, contains a lot of salt, so it probably masks them out. But overall, this vegetarian one is actually quite good. This one I would recommend. But if you have, like my subscriber had issues with sodium and not have a high sodium intake every day, take a look before you buy these. But this one actually tasted very good, which is nice because most vegetarian MRE stuff have a tendency to be very boring. But this is perfect for being freeze-dried, that is. Well, That had been a review of Trekkie Neat's vegetarian pasta with vegetable sauce, and some bonus stuff from 24-hour meals. And we're gonna dig into, well, I got menu number 1 and menu number 5, so we're soon gonna dig into these. And they weigh a bit more than I remember, so by first glance I think they contain more and have more variations and stuff, so that's gonna be interesting. But until then, take care and happy eating.